This is Andrew, and welcome back to MADMAN Review. And today we're going to talk about some of the strangest Wildcat cartridges on the market today. Of course, there are many successful ones, such as the 35 Whelen, 257 Roberts, and the 300 Whisper. Some Wildcat cartridges actually won the endorsement of the Sporting Arms and Ammunition Manufacturers Association and went on to become popular cartridges today. But we will not talk about those. Today we'll be looking at some wacky cartridges that never quite made the cut. While some Wildcat cartridges were made to address certain ballistic needs, the ones that I'm going to talk about today do not really serve anyone other than their creator. That is not to say that they are dysfunctional. They aren't. Some of them worked pretty well. Some are created as a product of boredom. Some are created just for a laugh. Some are just unfortunate. But they never really gained the traction they needed to go mainstream because no one wanted to use them either. I have here a list of 5 of them in no particular order, so let's get into it. The 500 Cyrus. The 500 Cyrus was developed by Michael Cyrus. Which is impressive about the cartridge is that it fits in an action for a .308 Winchester cartridge, but it delivers a comparable performance to the 470 Nitro. You can also use pistol bullets for the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum in the cartridge, or even load small caliber sabot bellets the same way you would in a 50 caliber muzzle loader. What did Cyrus do to create this cartridge? He shrunk the rim, shortened the case, and necked up to a 416 Rigby case. With a 325 grain bullet, you can get 2,720 feet per second. If you load a 500 grain bullet, you can get 6,000 foot-pounds of energy. The 338 Spectre. This cartridge was developed by Marty Ter William. He also created the 458 SOCOM, but this 338 Spectre was created to push heavy, high ballistic coefficient bullets over a long distance. Marty also wanted the cartridge to handle supersonic and subsonic loads. The parent cartridge is the 6.8 SPC, and he necked it down to 338 caliber. The exact dimension of the cartridge is protected to prevent people from duplicating his work. As it turns out, he did not need that protection since no one really wanted to even bother stealing his intellectual property in the first place. There are a few 338 caliber bullets that expand well at such low velocity. Plus, there's the 300 Blackout that just outperformed this cartridge in every aspect imaginable. The 22 PDK. This cartridge was created by the combined effort of Roy Winnett and John Hutchins. In this case, they converted the 6.8 SPC into the 22 Prairie Dog Killer that can spit a 50 grain bullet at 3,800 feet per second. Unlike most of the Wildcat cartridges on this list, the 22 PDK is actually good. It was so good that Nosler basically replicated the 22 PDK with one minor change. They reduced the diameter of the rim down to that of the 223 Remington to allow for a better MSR compatibility. This little change is the reason why you've never heard of the 22 PDK. The 9.3 BS. The 9.3 BS was created by John Barsness and Charlie Sisk. The name is exactly what you think. It's made to poke fun at all those who make really silly Wildcat cartridges. What about this one then? Although it's meant to be a joke, the performance is actually not that bad. It can handle big game animals pretty well. John and Charlie necked down a 350 Remington Magnum case up to 9.3 millimeter. In other words, they created a 9.3 by 62 millimeter short-action Mauser cartridge just to remind you that cartridge is used to hunt everything that moves on the planet. With this in mind, what does the 9.3 BS ballistic performance look like? Well, it can spit a 286 grain Nosler partition bullet up to 2,460 feet per second with 3,842 foot-pounds of energy. It's actually quite impressive. The 1732 Magnum. Carol Palan, a longtime employee at Sierra Bullets, created this bullet. He was an enthusiastic just like many of us, but he did not really make the Wildcat cartridge for any specific ballistic requirements. No, he just had a surplus of empty 32 H&R Magnum cartridges case lying around, and he decided to tinker with them. He said that the idea smacked him in the middle of the night, although no one, not even Pilot, can say for sure if it's a nightmare or a dream. You could say it's a fever dream. So what did he do? He necked the cases down to 17 caliber and chambered it in a Ruger No. 3 single shot. What's ballistic performance? You spit a 20 grain bullet at 3,300 feet per second. So in terms of ballistic performance, it is somewhere between the 17 HMR and the 17 Hornet. It's just a fun project for Pilot, and he did not really expect it to go anywhere. So we have to take a moment and appreciate his efforts nonetheless, even though the cartridge ends up being a complete failure. There you have it, folks. These are the 6 weirdest Wildcat cartridges that have ever been created. Granted, this is only my opinion, and you may find some others with even wackier stories. If so, why not let others know about them in the comments section below? We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. It means a lot to us. Also, consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already, if you want to see more content like this. Make sure to hit that bell icon so you do not miss out when a new video comes out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.